Hello, and welcome to some more Satisfactory, where the game is flickering weirdly. So hopefully we will stay live, but it could crash out. I don't know. I've been looking at upgrading options for upgrading my CPU and that sort of side of things. So I think I can afford to do that. And leave the sort of graphics card and all that side of things alone. But yes, hello, welcome. My name is Trismegistus, and in this series, I'm attempting to play through Satisfactory and getting to sort of the end point that you can reach at the moment. You can't quite finish the game, but you can get quite a long way in. And to do that, I'm currently experimenting with trucks. And that's what we're going to do today. So basically, I've set this up. This is like hopefully a hub for trucks to drop stuff off. And I've tried to colour code it. So we've got orange here is copper, and this should be the coal, and this should be the iron, and that's probably going to be concrete, the purple one, or I guess limestone. And then caterium over there. So there's not really much oil in the desert, so I'm not going to do that one. But oh, thank you very much, Grim. Is that an automatic? Are you there? Or is that just an automatic one? Well, thank you very much for the resubscription. Yes, so. Oh, there you are. How you are doing? Yes, I'm okay. How are you doing? Are you okay? Is it any warmer down south than it is up here in the Midlands? So yeah, so what I did, I mean, last stream we did the other pathway, the other road, basically. So what I did with this string, basically there's like a barrier all the way around this, but I've not put the stations in. So what we need to do first is head around and do the stations. But it's also useful for me, I think, to work out, because if I'm going to fuel this all with coal, did I put the fuel in? I think I put the fuel in and put it into this vehicle. Yeah, if I'm going to fuel it with coal, I need to know whether a truck can get round on 100 coal. Otherwise, I'll have to do something different. All good, mate? Not really pretty miserable. Oh, yeah. It's just, it's a bit, it's weird is more than anything. I don't actually mind it being, like, chilly and stuff, but for it to be so cold, in June seems a bit strange. Maybe this is this broken climate that we've made. Yeah, so if we drive round, I think, and set up some. That's not too loud on. Oh, it's quite loud on there, isn't it? No, it's quite loud for me, and I don't know if that's because. Come on. Just take that down a little bit. Still quite loud. Let's see if that's any better. Yeah, so it's more weirdness, I would say, than, actually being a problem. I don't really like the heat too much. Wah! Okay, just falling out the side of the the road. So which is the copper? There is a copper here somewhere, which is why I put the station in. It's over there. Okay, let's go and see if we can just temporarily hook that copper up. Just sent last week's project on Discord. Last week's project. Oh, on Discord, you mean? Last week's project. You've been doing a project? I'll have to check that afterwards. I've not actually got. Wait, I think it's open because it's like an automatic. There's a bunch of stuff I should turn off. It automatically opens, but you put a. What, you sort of emailed me, or I mean, DM'd me, or is it pictures of anything particular? Not that I'm not. I don't want to say I'm worried, but I say I could probably try and dig it out if you want to. You want me to show it on stream, sort of thing. Is all I was getting at. Right. So if we just put a belt in temporarily, so that there's at least some material. Because I need to test out timings as well. But oops, we'll put this in here. Now the copper one was the one on the left, I think. So if I just get rid of these here, and we can basically just... Now, which is the input? The input is the one on the left, isn't it? Okay. I'll switch for our PM to you. My face on there. Why is that? All right, okay. Right, well, I'll take a look afterwards then. But you've been, you've been okay generally. I don't know how you got on with the old Jubilee. Did you have any whatchamacallit? Street parties or anything like that? I don't know if you're just to lay the cards on the table. I'm not what one would call a royalist. Let's put it that way. So has this got power? Because it's got red on there. Okay, see if I can hook power up as well. Can I hook it to one of these? I don't think there's any spare slots here. Because that's got 4. That's got 4. Oh, let's hook it to that then. Okay, right, so let's keep going. Now, where is there more copper? There's more copper just around the corner here. So it's quite big, isn't it? You see the truck. This is the thing. I couldn't have two going like just down this one road. Face on general, no face on see. I was doing for the Jubilee for that pick. Okay. Righto. I shall take a look later. We didn't. There was basically nothing here. My neighbours, meaning the exact neighbours next door, had a little bit of bunting up, but they actually went away for half term. So where's this copper then? Oh, it's behind me. Okay. But there, no street party or anything. So I'm not actually bothered about that. It's not really my cup of tea. But it was a bit surprising that there was absolutely nothing. Yeah, say not that I personally am bothered, but I suppose one of the things, there's not actually that many, don't appear to be that many families around here. It's mostly sort of you don't see many kids, which is a bit odd because there is actually a school. Maybe it's just because I don't... Oh, thought I could get up there. Okay. Let's put a ramp in. So this is all just me botching this together so that we can put it... No, you're not going to... No. What? What are you doing that for? No, you're not gonna... Maybe if you'll let me put one. What? Why are you doing that? Right, I'll just build one here then. Right. So that's how... Oh. That was too steep. Okay, blimey. It's weird how fussy it gets about things that it'll then just let you break. Right, so this is just going up here. And I've missed that hole. That's what she said. Dearie me. Or description and general type. Okay, cool. Well, that's not a good sign, is it? Why is it doing that? Right, okay. Okay, anyway, let's just put one of these truck stations in, if it'll let me. No, you're not going to let me. There you go. Let's put one there. Oh, then it's not. Like that. Have I just put that backwards? No, that's fine. And then we'll take this round. Put it in here. I think we'll only have 2. It's just almost to prove the principle in a sense. And if I just extend this a bit so there's somewhere for me to drive. And then maybe fill this in so it doesn't fall down the hole. Because I'm testing it out to see how weirdly it'll behave. We need to give it a bit of a fighting chance, I think. I think I found the tracks okay, but when I got trains, they were pointless in my opinion. Yeah, so my all I'm really trying to, I'm almost doing it on almost like on principle. It's not really. And I'm not anticipating this to be like the best way of doing it, but there's a lot of resources in the desert, and I thought it'd be cool to have like a road like this. Also, it let me learn how to do curves like this. So we'll drive round. There is another. I think there's another copper right next to the road somewhere. Where are we? We're up here. It's that, well, right next to the road's a bit of an exaggeration, isn't it? So it's over there, basically. So we could hook that one up, I guess. So I mean, this is just very much experimentation rather than kind of where anything is actually going to be. Because there's a possibility I could do a multi-level road. As a sort of another way of tackling the same problem. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do belts. You see, I just felt, let's try and use trucks in the way I think they're intending them to be used, and just sort of see if it's even vaguely possible. Roads look pretty. Yeah, they look really cool. I think they're. If you zoom in, why are you not counting up? They're I had to look at a tutorial. I was doing them last stream, and I was making mistakes all throughout the stream. It's because I think it's because it's sort of counterintuitive how you do it, and it's like it'd be better. I mean, given you can make awesome things like that, I'm not sure why they don't make it a bit easier. Because you have to do all sorts of stuff. Going sideways and building around a curve and all this sort of stuff. And it takes a bit of, practice to even get it vaguely right. In fact, let's just clip through. This tutorial, I sort of had to watch it about 5 times. And then it still didn't really make sense. Because I say, it's a bit strange what you have to do. But they look really good when they're down. And I quite like, I don't know if you saw the beginning part of the road. That's how I'm going to do it, all the way around. Assuming this is even vaguely okay. Because one of the things I'm aware of, I've made a narrow road. And the trucks, I guess technically they could do 2 next to each other, just about. But really I want them driving down the middle. So it's effectively, it's like some sort of weird belt. It's like some weird belt I've made. Round in a big circle. But there's all sorts of different resources being picked up. So copper and iron and stuff. And I don't know, because the next one we need to set up is the iron after this. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see if we can even get it to pick up copper and if it'll do a single journey round. Are you going to... I'm not fussed where these are, I just don't want them outside of the concretey bit. In fact, it's probably dumb putting this here, because... In fact, they're not going to load up anything, are they? Because they don't work if there's no power. But that doesn't matter, we can do that on principle. Right, yes, so if we drive round... I'm going to try using every mechanic in the game. Basically, yeah, that's sort of what I'm... Because this is very much... I mean, it's sort of a bit weird in the sense that the series overall, because my Factorio series, as you know, I mean, I wouldn't ever call myself an expert at the game, but I've played so many hours in it. I know basically what I'm doing in most circumstances. So even though, like, the 3 series I've got running at the moment are all new in the sense of I'm learning things as I go, the basic how Factorio works, you know, is something I've had so much practice with. Even an idiot like me can you know, just get through it, sort of thing. And but for this series, we're way into uncharted territory for me. I mean, a lot of these weren't even in the game. There were no vehicles. Now, what are you going to do with that lot? So that's okay. Ugh. So it's getting a bit stuttery as well. That's going to be an issue, isn't it? I think they're going to be way too close. So, first question is... So we only use 66 coal. Okay, so that's okay. So a single loop, and it's about the same length, the other one, and the third one I'm going to do is even shorter. So we've put fuel in there, because it should load it in. I checked on the wrong bit. But yeah, my intention is to sort of use all the mechanics. Oh, hello, Jace. Trucks are good for mid-range distances, in my opinion. They take up less room than trains generally, have slightly tighter turn radio. Yeah, I mean... Does this count as medium distance? I don't know what in terms of scale that means, but basically the idea is to hoover all of the resources up in the desert with trucks, and then trains will take it. You know, I mean, I've got the steel smelter here, so I may do a train down to that. Not 100% sure, but we could always do it, you know, because there is resources here, but it won't be enough for the steel smelter, I don't think. But aluminium I'll probably do, well, I'll say that's pending on what they do with the marshland. Because they sort of said early June, didn't they, for the update. I'm not sort of anticipating it this week, or even next week probably. I suspect late June is probably more realistic, but until we see that, I'd quite like to fire up the nuclear power is basically the thing. And sort of switch the oil over. That's the next job I'd quite like to do. But I could just do the aluminium or whatever. Now, oops, wrong key. So... Toggle... So I want the record menu, don't I? And I want to start recording. And then if I drive this... Do I need that to be open all the time? I don't think I do I? So say this would come in here. Ooh. You gonna stop? Don't I have a path thing, or did I stop that? No, it's still recording. To show path nodes? Is that what I'm after? There we go. Yeah, they're quite crude, aren't they, the path nodes? Okay. I mean, it didn't load anything on. I don't know if that's because I'm just driving it round. I remember it being a bit finicky when I used the tractor before. So this would come in here. You go down here. So this would be the second one. Yeah. Okay. It won't load anything because no power anyway, but it should have loaded something on that first one. I think one biome is what I call medium distance. Okay, so roughly sort of what I'm doing. Program trucks is more fun than trains, but the trains are easy. Yeah. The bit I think is missing from, or I seem to remember is sort of missing, is the ability to edit the nodes, but I don't know if they added that in one of the updates. Look at the wheels bouncing up and down. I guess that's because the... Oh no, we're not on the cut. Okay, that's not a good sign. So, if you come around here, for example... Or do I have to press the F? Do I need to do that for everyone? That's very much a learning exercise. You can edit the nodes. Could you edit them in the sense of moving them? Or just, I think I seem to recall they added deleting them. But can you actually move them about? Can you like tweak the path? So, I mean, when I did the tractor, it was literally, it was before update 5 even, it was like a year ago or whenever I started this series. Deleting some, changing pause time. I think you can move the actual node. Okay. Well, I could try giving it a go. I don't think you can actually move it, yeah. So that'd be what I'd want to do, really. You know, it'd be easy, it'd be better, honestly, I think, if you could draw them on the map. You know, if you can actually draw the path. So if I hit that finish line, path recording complete. Okay. Do I have to be in the truck or does it do it from here? No? Can I edit this node? Okay, so you can set the wait time. So we can make it say 5 seconds or something. Wait time. Okay. So yeah, you can delete them, but I don't think you can move them, can you? So, how do I set you going on your... Oh, that's right. I remember they added that. You can save and load the paths. So we could add multiple vehicles to the same path. In fact, we'll do that, because that's one of the things I want to test. So how do I get it to actually do the... Is it the enable auto? No? Open record menu, save path, load path. Do I have to get out? Oh, there we go. Oh! That wasn't a particularly good sign. I forget, can you have multiple trucks on one route or do you have to program them separate? Yeah. So can I copy this by not being... No, I can delete it. I think I have to be in the vehicle, don't I? To like record it. In fact, have you got fuel? No, so we'll pop a little bit of fuel in this one. Just to make sure it's got... I think, because I've obviously only got... In fact, let's just chuck a load of fuel. I went and grabbed some from elsewhere. So if I put more fuel in there... In fact, can I just make a quick chesticle? Organisation, storage container. Put you there. A bit of coal in that one. Because you can only put 100 in, I think. You can't stack it up with like 1,000. Unless they've changed that as well. But have that feeding that in. So what we're waiting for here is whether or not that truck is going to do anything, because it seems to be sat there not moving unless it's just not updating it properly. Let's go and have a quick look. This is not a good sign, is it? Because it should have some stuff in it. It shouldn't have some, you know, it shouldn't. So what are you doing? Is it waiting here and trying to load? But it can't because this hasn't got power, maybe? But I say, this sort of... Where's a good power? In fact, I could just drag some down from here, couldn't I? So it's going to be all fancy with, you know, things down it. Well, I say that. We've already hit fairly major snag. So if we put that on, is it just waiting for something to load? That's the question. So it's having stuff put in. Ah! Wait time 10.5 seconds. Is that because I sat there for 10.5 seconds? It seems a very weird time for it to sit there. Let's edit that then. So it's a very weird and specific time. Okay. We're going to have to go and do the other one then, aren't we? In fact, let's get another truck. Starts it going from the start to the stop until it gets onto the path. Okay. So yeah, it's going to wait at the other one, isn't it? But I didn't copy that path, so I'm not sure I can add this to this next vehicle. We'll actually take the one behind it because it'll be good to see. Speaking of which, if I grab a little bit more, put it in. I think we'll leave this vehicle here and see if it crashes into it. I suspect it will. I think it's too close, isn't it? Oh, there it is. Put that in there. So say, if I get in that. Whoa, okay. Right. Yeah. Oh, you're just gonna... Okay. Well, this is going well already. Yeah. It's not gonna... It's not... Because usually when you have a squiffed truck, if you hit E, it will reset it. Right, okay. In that case, let's dig... Oh, and that one did something interesting as well. This is going really well. It's got a pause here, and I don't... Why has it got a pause here? Is it because I accidentally drove into the contact zone for this? But if we delete this... Okay. Brilliant. Right. Yeah. I suppose at the very least, I mean, even if the desert proves to be a bust, I could do something in one of the other locations, you know, with trucks and stuff, just so that, I mean, we could maybe do it along, because there's the coastal area where there's the, oh, I was going to see if I could, I don't know why I got out then. I meant to hit Q. Okay. So, yeah, it's not did that, is it? So, okay. So you need to record it when you're in the actual vehicle. Copy it when you're in the actual vehicle. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That's fine. Bit of a shame, though, if these roads turn out to be useless, because... I suppose I could do something where one of the resources is delivered by truck, so then I at least keep the roads, maybe. Because I suspect we're going to get all sorts of problems. We're doing multiple, multiple things. We could maybe pick up the concrete or something, because it's going somewhere else. I better move this out of the way. So, we need to power this for it to work. And there must be power down here. Yeah, we could do the concrete, and the concrete could, and maybe Caterium, and they just go on to, it just loads them onto a train and sends them where they need to go. So if I hop in this one and save this route, so this is copper test, copper 1 test, like that. If I hop out, it should head off. Cool. So if I hop in here, we hit Q. We load that one up. Load path. And then, don't I need to enable... Where's... Oh, there it is. Enable autopilot. And I hop out. And it silently drifts away. Turn the roads into a racetrack. Yeah. So I'm going to have to edit this node, I bet, because this will be some weird... It's obviously the amount of time I paused. It was actually... So, I don't know if you've seen any things. There's things like that, a racetrack. That was what I was intending... That's what I'd quite like to do with like a community stream for this game. But I don't think there's as much interest in this, you know, from my audience as there is Factorio, because you know, I mean, it's brilliant you're here, and you, Jace, as well, and who else is watching. I don't mean it in that way, but it's just, you know, the Factorio ones tend to get a good couple of people watching or dropping in or pretty consistently, whereas, you know, there's plenty of, you know, people dropping in for the Satisfactory ones, but it's a bit thinner, you know. Also, I've no idea, and in fact I suspect I wouldn't be able to cope with hosting a big multiplayer map. I mean, I can barely cope with playing it on myself, you know, single player. But so it's things like that I wanted to do, and sort of because it doesn't have a creative mode, does it? I don't think. I don't think you can enable a creative mode. I'm sure there is mods, but as in default one. So it's things like that I wanted to do, and we could set up, you know, some racetracks in the desert, and, you know, go drive, you know, do a number of laps around them and stuff like that. Because you can do you know, you can obviously do banked foundations and stuff, so you could have a banked, you know, curve on a racetrack. So I mean, both trucks appear to have avoided crashing into this one. Or did it just crash into them when we didn't see it, sort of thing? So wait seconds, 5 seconds. So there should be still some fuel in here. Yeah, okay. Oh, and it's unloaded as well. And I've somehow managed to do both, haven't I? What a plonker. Which one have I done wrong there, then? Okay. That's not good. Which one did I hook up to an iron mine, then? Oh, is it that one? That's because I was jabbering away. I mean, the other question with, with the capacity side of things. So what one have I put in? Oh, it's because they've stopped here. Why? Oh, it's because I've driven in, isn't it? Yeah, so we don't want this node. Because this will have... Yeah, this will have stuff in it, because it is... This is where I was testing out connections. Okay. But this is what I was saying. What I would like to be able to do with the, you know, paths is... Because I've obviously turned too sharply. And the only way I think I can edit that, basically, is to... Well, I could delete this node, maybe. But then I don't know what they're going to do pathing-wise. And I'd rather move this node over to here. And then they'll do a nice... Well, in theory, they do a nice tight turn. Because if we're going to have another truck here, loading iron, it's a perfect recipe for them crashing into each other. In fact, that's another thing I wanted to test. If I... Can I just make a truck? No, what am I missing? Oh, I can. Whoops. So if there's a truck here loading iron, you see... Will they smash into that? They didn't seem to smash into the other one. Oh, you can enable a creative. Okay. There'll be a mod for that. Because I don't think if you... Oh, here we go. Here's a truck. I better get out of the way so it doesn't smash into me. What are you going to do with a vehicle in the way? Ah, I bet it did it. Yeah, okay. That's not very good, is it? It's a bully. It's a bully, that's what it is. Well, that's gone horribly. I think it didn't do it before because there's that thing where the vehicles basically despawn when you're like more than about 5 yards away. So effectively that vehicle sort of wasn't there. Let's see what this one does. I mean, the pathfinding's working relatively well from that point of view. Oh, right, yeah. No. It's trying to copulate with it now. Oh! Oh, we've got magic movement of vehicles now. Okay. And are you just going to float into the air? Okay. Right. Yes. Well, there we are. Hello again, Jolly Mentos. How you doing? No build requirements. So one of the things, I don't think the servers, because a lot of the, I've been looking at like renting a server basically, costs and that sort of thing, and a lot of them say you can't enable mods. So if there is a creative mode, it must be built in. It's just I don't remember seeing it in the options. So I mean, what that tells us for one thing is that this is too close. Because they, you know, I mean, I could do something, couldn't I, where re-record the path and it's like a super sharp turn, but it's not going to work because this is just too close. Okay, so if we were to have a truck here, I guess in theory it might be there somewhere. Because I'm looking at, you know, parallel unloading. I mean, I guess I could think of it more in terms of if we have lots of trucks and making sure these are absolutely stuffed. Because we can put, obviously, I mean, I haven't really got much aluminium, but we can go all the way up to lift 5 now. As I say, I'd have to do something about a bit more aluminium production. But 780 resources a minute, and we can unload in 2 places. I don't even think... So that's 1,500 resources a minute that the belts could, in theory, take. And I don't actually think there's that demand. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. But the transit time is quite long, isn't it? And all they're doing is stopping for 5 seconds at two stations. I bet there's still a load of iron ore in here, isn't there? Wait, in fact, all they've got is iron ore. Have I hooked up iron ore to... What? Why has it got mostly iron ore? Have I just been a complete idiot and both the ones I've hooked up are iron ore? Never seen that before. Yeah, I know they did put something to that effect in, where it'll move the vehicles if they get stuck. Oh, look at that bullion truck again. So what have you got in you? Oh, that's copper with a little bit of iron though. Okay. And the other one's still coming. Because I don't think you can put a weight condition that is until empty, like you can with train, or until full with trains. So what have you got in here? I mean, I could always like set them back a little bit as well, but these were so painful to put in. It's coming for me. So this has got loads of iron ore. It could simply be, in fact it would make sense, because that one that I set up is literally hours and hours ago. So it's probably just filled up. When they both did that one stop there, there was just enough to fill them up. Here again you see, it's a distance thing. Basically the trucks aren't really there. Oh, it's off again, floating through. But those are just way too close, aren't they? Yeah. So putting them right next to each other is a bust, I think. That's not going to work. So 2 questions that I don't have answers to offhand is, do I actually even need multiple truck stops for resources? is the volume enough coming out of one if I use level 5 belts that actually that'll supply the factory. I'm kind of doubting it, to be honest with you, because this is all of my copper smelting, and I can't believe, one or two level 5 belts will supply everything, because I've put down, like, what is it, 4 rows of smelters with level, can I work this out? A level 4 belt, isn't it, I think? And that isn't double. So yeah, I think I need 2 truck stops, like, as a minimum, because that would be 960 as double, and it's not 960. Yeah, okay. I put these going this direction. I'd have to do it as a roundabout, I think. I think we'd have to have every truck, going around it in a circle, because I can't see, 2 going in the opposite direction working at all. Okay. So the other thing I did want to test is how things might work if we go alternate routes. So obviously, as I say, I set the second one up. I suppose the other option for multiplayer is that you lot come and help me work on this factory, because I can't see how I'm going to finish this factory before, like, the heat death of the universe. It's so big and everything takes so long. It's just absolutely bonkers. Here it comes again. Are you're gonna hit this truck again? No, so it has sort of avoided it. So it has a sort of collision detection, doesn't it? But it's a bit naff. And sometimes it'll just try and... I think it might do it as a can I get through type check. It does a relatively quick and simple can I get through check. And if it says yes, I can get through, by tweaking the course, basically. So if it goes slightly outside here, slightly away from this, yep, it can get through, so it'll take that course. But if the other vehicle is right in the way, it kind of fails that check, but then it doesn't have anything to just stop the vehicle. It just plows through. And if it gets properly stuck, that's where that blue hand of God comes in and moves it onto the path. Which, that second bit, I remember them saying they'd added that, because that's how they fixed the trucks falling through the map and stuff like that. It sort of just, or getting stuck in the terrain. It picks them up and plonks them elsewhere. Okay, I say what I did want to test is if we go round another route. Can I get that to work, basically? So, oh, we should be recording. Hang on. Oh, no. We want to start here, don't we? So, if I open that, start recording, and off we pop. I mean, obviously these aren't... I mean, I need to make this wider, I think, but these aren't the routes. This isn't, this part of it. Now, the question here is, I don't actually remember where there's any copper. Oh, there's not any for ages, is there? So if we drive all the way up there. I didn't put the posts up, because I wasn't sure we would get this far. I thought it might take ages for me to work out how it even works. So I haven't put the barriers on, so I need to be a little careful. Now the copper's over here somewhere? I think, maybe. Like, get out? Okay. I thought it might disappear. So that's copper there, I think. Right, let's put a little platform in. We'll just want that, don't we? platform in here. Ah, you've redeemed the bad joke. Why did that not send me a message? So there's two. So here's your joke. There's 2 eggs in a pan of boiling water. And one says to the other, "Blow me, it's hot in here." And the second egg screams and says, "Just wait till you get out. They'll crack your head in." So I did say it was going to be a bad joke. I was going through the weekend. It was just a test, really, because I've been trying to work out, what I can do with the rewards and the bits and all that sort of stuff. Because you can set limits on that sort of thing. I said, "Did you like your joke?" So it didn't flag me though. It's meant to tell me that you've done that, and it didn't. Okay. But yeah, so I was trying to think of silly things I could do, because I don't want it to get... Because you get these streamers, don't you, where they do ridiculous things. And I don't know that I'm entirely comfortable doing that. So I was trying to think of like silly things and put one on as a test. So it's quite good someone's giving it a go. But I say, what they'll eventually end up being, I don't know. I've got the right one. This is copper. Yeah. But also there should be an emote as well now. But it's just the icon for the for the channel, but for my avatar basically. But yeah, so nobody should be able to redeem that. It's a good bad joke. A joke will be no joke somewhere. The definition of propaganda is when a British person looks closely at something. But yeah, so say that's a good joke. But I need to think of some more, come up with some ideas and stuff. What am I looking for? I'm looking for truck station. There we go. Can I actually make enough of these? I mean, we don't need a lot. We could just stick one in, I guess. But yeah, I know, I do like, when I'm watching streams, I like when they have things that you redeem, and because there's a thing you can put on, like it's for bits though. I'm not sure I want people spending money on me. I've said this before, but where you can get a text to speech thing to read something out basically. I suppose the risk there, it wasn't clear to me whether you could get it to censor any swearing though, because I don't want you filling the filling a channel with swears. But yeah, so there's all sorts of things that I was looking at. As I say, looking at the emotes, I think I'm going to have to get someone to do it for me, because the icons are tiny. It's like, I was taking your suggestion actually, Grim, of using the stupid faces I make on the the thumbnails for the thing, and basically. So I want to actually get rid of that though, don't I? So if probably want to get rid of that one as well. Otherwise it will go weird. So if I get back in this, there's one in the middle there as well. Can I get at that? Oh no. Is this still recording? It is, isn't it? Okay. So we don't want it doing all this reversing rubbish. But we want it coming in here, like this, and stopping. I have some streamers that have their TTS censor words. Okay. So it looks like you can do it. So it's all a bit... How can I put this? I mean, the back end of Twitch is atrocious. It's like... It's just really bad. And it doesn't explain anything. And there's like a set of help pages, as if you've ever looked at it, sort of thing. There's some help pages, and what you might call guides, I suppose, that are meant to be official things, and they're like out of date basically, because it'll refer to things, and you're like, that that's not what happens. You know, it doesn't actually work like that. Or it will refer to things that, you know, they've deprecated, and, you know, stuff like that. And it's like, well, yeah. So I was trying to look at some YouTube. This is the irony, isn't it? Looking at some YouTube videos to try and work out how Twitch works, because Twitch doesn't explain itself very well. Yeah, there's a cooldown on it, because I figured I didn't want to. I don't know. I've got that many bad jokes, but I was sort of like, I don't want, you know. I said I don't know. I've got that many bad jokes, so if people were just spamming it in, I'd end up a bit stuck for things to say. But yeah, there should be a bit of a time. I don't know. I can't remember what I said. It's quite long. But yeah, it's maybe one every half an hour or something. Nearly got banned for using naughty words in the chat a couple of months ago. Was that here or? I mean, it does have the swear filter on the channel. It's a bit American, I think, in the sense that it doesn't. Some things that aren't really, you know, that sweary or accidental. And I say a bit like the TTS, as you say, Johnny, where it says, whoops, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that either. Yeah, as you say, like, doesn't distinguish between contained words and, you know, real words, as it were. So a word that's got something in it, it can trigger 25 minutes. Yeah, so I think it's half hour. Because the other part to that, you see, why they do that sort of thing is, it's like, it's meant to encourage you to hang around, you see, while you have a cooldown. Okay. So, if I do that, enable auto. So this is a weird route, isn't it? Because it's got like random pauses in it. Will it empty? That's a question. So if I get out... Oops. What have I done there? Why have you not... Oh, there we go. So it looks like it just crashed into it then, didn't it? But yeah, that's a bit of a problematic route in the sense that it's got like a 30-second pause in it. But hopefully I fixed any, you know, reverses I did. But I don't... The problem here, of course... Oh, I stopped here accidentally, didn't I? It must just... No, I didn't stop. It must just... If you pass through the station... It just adds a node automatically. Word used was hell. I don't think it was that bad. Also, it was a human moderator. Threatened me with the ban hammer. Well, you say that, but in America, that's considered, or certain parts of America, maybe I'm speaking a bit out of turn in that way, but hell is considered a fairly significant swear word in, I say, parts of America at least. But in Britain, it's just, you know, it's like the S word, as it were. In the UK, that's considered fair, you know, quite sweary. You wouldn't say it in front of children, but in America, it's almost like, you know, our equivalent of crap. Basically, it's not actually considered that bad a swear word. So yeah, if it was a American streamer, or I say some other countries as well, they regard hell as a bit of a significant swear word. Which is saying, I mean, in Britain, bloody hell is about as least sweary as you can get, isn't it? But so it's different in other countries. But yeah, so I was thinking about putting the, you know, TTS in, a text to speech thing. But say the one that's on the on the page is basically the widget you can do. It uses bits, and so you have to sort of pay for that. And I couldn't see there was equivalent for the channel points, but I say I quite like to put some more in. You can do like emotes for channel points as well and stuff. So I kind of I quite like that system. Particularly as I say, you get the ones with the cooldowns and people sort of hang around a bit. I was waiting to see if one of these trucks might come back, but we're sort of waiting a while. So there's another one coming there. I bet this other one's miles away, isn't it? Because I put the really long pauses in. What I was hoping to test, and it's a bit of a, can be a bit of a. In fact, what I could do, if I hop in this vehicle as it's coming around this corner, it'll pause, won't it? And we could wait for the other one to come back and sort of get to that station there. Can I hop in this vehicle, or is it going to crash into me? No, it's driven past. So if I reverse it up, because what I'm wondering is what it does. There's effectively two routes using the same truck stop. Well, not effectively. There are two routes using the same truck stop. Here it comes. I didn't think it'd be long. So if I set this going slightly after that vehicle, it did quite a turn there, didn't it? This is all me. Oh, look at that. That was me nearly falling off. Or when I fell off the side. And I stood there for... Oh, well, it's just tried to bash into us. Okay, that's not very good, is it? Right, so that other one is coming. I mean, that's weird because I'm sat here in a non-active vehicle. Are you going to crash into that one? Oh, it did wait. Okay. And that... It's waiting. Okay. Okay. So it looks like if it's using the stop, it will do like proper collision, as in it'll wait for the other one to clear out, even if it's on a second route. Okay, so that's useful. But vehicles in the way, generally, it looks like it just tries to drive through them. If it can't do a simple tweak to the path to go around. We'll learn something every day. So, it's one of those weird quirks. I'm going to play some Elden Ring. Okay. I suppose thanks for the stream. I've gone. And you, Grim? Always good to see you. Enjoy Elden Ring. It must be a big game if you're still playing it now. Because I know you were... well, unless you've just not had the time sort of thing. Oh, sorry, you're probably gone. But it must be a big game if it's taking you all this time. Okay. So is that all I wanted to test? I mean, I'm sort of happy, at the very least, that these trucks are just still circulating round. Because I was a bit worried that, especially that one, I didn't put any barrier, edging on it. So there was the distinct possibility it would just, fall off an edge. But it looks like they're relatively good at following a path, but terrible when it comes to sort of stopping and dropping off stuff. But they do wait at a single stop if you've got multiple things assigned to it. Okay. Because a couple of these are multiple nodes, but we've got, you see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I guess 15 technically for copper. So if I can hook them up into about, you know, a total of 5 stations or something like that across the things, because I don't want too many stations, I say, because, you know, I can add more trucks by the looks of things. That's, you know, that will work. Okay. So that's all happened. Second run and lack of time. Oh, right, okay. Blimey. It must be keen then. So you're trying to 100... Oh, you've got the other gone now, I'm sure. But you're trying to 100% it then, or... Oh, well that went weird. Looked like it unloaded it before the truck had even got there. But yeah, I would say I'm not sure about the, you know, setting the paths. That seems like it's going to be a bit tricky. Like I'm going to have to practice the route, and if you make, I guess you could reverse and stuff like that and try and correct it as you go. But you see how these are sort of coming in at a weird... Yeah, it's unloading it before they even get there. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. But also, I've got 2 stops here now, haven't I? How would I clear both? Oh, okay, so a different angle. It lets me set a different one. Okay. That's a bit weird. Because that's 2 nodes, effectively. And here comes the other lad. Looks like they, like, when they get close, they sort of try and adjust their speed, but they're very clumsy at it. But yeah, he's come around again, so cool, okay. So look, because what I was thinking, you see, I probably want to load the coal on to take it down to steel. But what I was thinking is I could just, you know, take the other one and distribute it around these, stick it all into all of these. It's the iron one that's going to be tricky, because if I want to load iron to take it down to here, I am going to have to tap even more of these. Because the other option I thought about in terms of... So at the moment I've got them on the sides like this. And what I could do instead is have everything in rows. You know, so we could have the, you know, say coal drop off there and deuterium drop off here. Or however I want to do it. And then these would be a bit simpler. It wouldn't have to be a roundabout as such then. It'd be more like a train system in Factorio. Okay, okay. I say, we kind of did that a lot quicker than I thought we were going to. So what can we do? I guess I could start looking at the other side of things. As in, if this is the stuff coming up, what do I do with it once it's in the factory? That would mean probably looking at trains as well. Yeah, go on then. Let's have a look and see if we can... I'd be interested to know, just as for science, has it slowed down yet? Oh! Is it trying to path round me? I think it was, wasn't it? It's trying to get round me. And is it now stuck? Okay. Right. Whoops. Oh dear. We're having all sorts of fun and games. So it's zipped one through. What are you trying to do? What the heck is that vehicle trying to do now? It's trying to... It's just turned around. Why is it... Oh, I bet it missed a node. Okay. It's not making a very good job of doing a 3-point turn. What are you trying to do, truck? Poor thing. Seems to be struggling. No, you need to put left hand down there. Poor thing. It's like me in a car park. No, yeah, no, left hand down there. No. It's having a right time of it, isn't it? That, unfortunately, is what I was afraid of. That's the bit I'm worried about. I think it's resettable in the sense that... I mean, obviously I can go in and correct it myself like this. So it's trying to do that for some reason. But I think it doesn't matter, because if I just go away, you know, if I just leave the area, then the trucks become... They're not real trucks anymore. They're, you know, theoretical trucks on the path. And so effectively it would reset it all. Interesting. Okay, so what we're going to do here, because the idea I had was that the material comes in from the desert here and gets redistributed, but some of it's going to have to go on trains if I'm taking it down to the steel foundry. And some of it is going to be reprocessed, is going to be smelted here. Copper's a quite good example, because I don't think I'm taking copper anywhere else. Don't you need it for some high level thing though? Can I just... I could use the, whatchamacallit, couldn't I? No. Oops. Isn't there... Copper ingot. So, doesn't one of these super high level... Oh no, that's bauxite. I'm sure there was one that... Standard recipe 1-to-1. Okay. Isn't there something that uses copper? It's not them, is it? Because this foundry is going to make things like sheets, you see. That's the idea. But I thought there was one that... Maybe it's an alternate recipe. Yeah, it must be an alternate recipe. That was like copper powder or something. I probably just... Oh, no, there... Oh no, that's bauxite, isn't it? I just looked at that one. Okay, I think it's alright then. Because I'm not really doing anything with alternate recipes. No, that's fuel. Okay, so copper's not a bad example, because all we're going to do with copper is smelt it. Now, I say, I think we'll probably end up with 2. So we would have a second set of these guys. Where would they be? They would be adjacent to this one. So it's this one here. Okay. So these would come up here. Would that be right? Probably there and there, maybe? Yeah. Okay, so I suppose technically the truck stations count as buffering, don't they? But I probably want to stick it in a storage thing. Oh, I haven't got any pipes. Okay. What else are we missing that we might need? I guess I should grab some iron plate and stuff. Right, where would any of that be? No. Pipes, here we go. Grab a bunch of them. I don't need that many, but just get a few. Where is iron plate? Here we go. Rods maybe as well. Oh, have I got any? Yeah, I've got loads of them. Where are rods? I thought they were here, aren't they? There we go. Cool, okay. So yeah, if these came into an industrial storage thing, do I want one each? This terrible habit, I've said this before, of thinking of this like it's Factorio and like buffering everything when it's sort of pointless because, well, not sort of pointless, it's completely pointless because, you know, infinite resources and it doesn't matter, you know, what you do with them sort of thing. Especially the low level stuff because it's just time cost rather than material cost. But yeah. Because what I'm sort of thinking with this, I guess that's a question, isn't it? So I don't really know the volume. Because if I did make those, what I was thinking about was using a merger here, you see. So these two come in with a merger. I bet it's not going to let me do that, is it? So, in fact, can't I put a merger? Can I put a merger between two things? Will it let me do that? So if we have a lift here. Oops. That way around. And a lift here. If I put a merger... I'm working with the wrong one, isn't I? Because this will actually have some material on it. In it, rather. Let's do it here as well. Oops. So we do that. Oh. What? Why you do weirdness? They're not aligned, are they? Oh, they are. Okay. So can I put a merger in the middle? Ooh, I don't know. Is that in the middle? It's not really in the middle, is it? Because that's the output going to the output. So it didn't like that at all. Okay. How close would they have to be for that to work then? Did I just get a load of... I did. Nuts. I suppose it's polluted as well. That's a problem. So... yeah. It don't like me doing that. Okay. Let's just plop one of them down. Put whatever junk it's given me there. Get rid of that as well. Maybe that. That in there. So I don't know how close these have to be for it to stick onto both sides when it's a merger, because it feels like it needs to be closer. Closer. Fair lift. Should I check something? Bit testing. Yeah, it's not got an alert for it. No wonder it didn't tell me. Okay. That's not very good. Yes, so, okay. I put that closer, didn't I? Oh, I just put it on top of each other. So they're two outputs. If I put a mergery thing here. I mean, that doesn't look like it's connected, does it? Maybe it won't let you do it. Maybe it's the one restriction on clipping. Or maybe they have to be even closer. Can I make them even closer? Because it puts them basically inside each of the things when you do it. No, that was the wrong way around. Okay, so if I do that... Oh. We're having some arguments. No, I don't think that's connected to both of them, is it? It wouldn't let me rotate it if they were. Sort of looks like it is, but I don't think it is. We could test it. We can test it because the thing's just down here. I say we can test it. It's not hooked up. Okay. So if we put a bit of, say, concrete in here, I probably need to power it as well. The trucks will just run out of juice. I say those aren't the final routes, but I might actually not need to power it if I'm unloading. But anyway, if I just jerry-rig this together. Oh, of course it won't let me do that. I could do that to say there. And this too. Oh, why is that more... Oh no, it's optical illusion. Right, will you go up to there? And there? Cool, okay. Awesome, so they should send some concrete up. Take a little while, but I don't think... How am I going to see? I guess I could see whether it's moving on the belt, couldn't I? Yeah, so one of them stopped. So it's not actually connected to both of them. So that's coming out. It's coming out because it's coming out of that one. Although, would it... If I probably need to increase the belt to see it anyway, wouldn't I? Oh, it is coming out of both of them. Huh, okay. Ah, that might be a bit of a game changer. Why is one of them stopped? Hey? What? Let's use a different... So that's a mega, like, overfilled belt. Oh no, it's just connecting, isn't it? I bet it's just ignoring this altogether. And I'm just accidentally connecting the belts. No, that stopped it. Okay, that doesn't work, is basically the point. So, if we want to have these merging into one, options are... Oh, I like the way it does that. That's quite clever. I could just feed it directly in. But what I was hoping to do was basically... It probably doesn't apply for copper. Oh, maybe it will. It depends how much copper I need. But we would actually have a train on the other side. I'm just really realising that's probably not going to work, is it? Because what I was thinking is we can have the train basically delivering resources. So iron, it's almost certainly going to be needed, but we can have a train here. Let's say this is, you know, whether it's 1, whether it's 2, whatever. Was that connected in, or is that an optical illusion? Seems to be weirdly generous with the, whatever you call it, like the rubbery attache bit. But yeah, my idea was that I can then just have this chest, basically. This is a chest. And it essentially evens out the flow. So if the train's coming in every, 20 minutes and the car, the trucks are coming in every 3 minutes or something, then there's going to be a, peaks and troughs for the two different sources. And by having them coming into this, it'll just sort of even itself out. Or even a set of these. But I could achieve the same effect by, if this was a separate one. And instead of coming in, here, it came into this one. Like that. You see, it's sort of, is it connected that? That's strange. And then I just have outputs with, mergers on them. Going wherever I need it, sort of thing. It's obviously weird angles, but I just merge it onto a single belt, and we can have either max level belt or whatever. So I don't think the smelter's using. I think I'm at whatever that is, belt 4. But this would just, I say, it just ensures evenness of, evens out the supply and demand effectively. Because the trucks are going to turn up at a very different rate to the trains. Yeah, I think that would work. So what I don't know offhand is what I'm actually needing flow rate wise. We could probably sort of work it out. The things don't need what don't they need? They don't need the belt that I'm using to be full, is my memory, because it's, I've completely forgotten. It's like, no, I can't remember. I think there's 60. Oh, because each group is 5. And then 10. I've got it noted down somewhere, but I can't remember where that was. I didn't think, I thought we'd spend all day with the trucks. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Yeah, it's 60, isn't it? So I've got 60 of these. And if they're doing copper ingots, all of them, and we've got 4 rows, 120, so it's 240 smelters. I say none of them are overclocked, because that seemed like a waste of power, but they're about to change that, so that's a bit annoying, but there you go. So I need 30 a minute. Crikey. Maths, my one weakness. So I need 30 a minute, and I've got 240 of them. So that's 7,200 a minute I need to be pumping in. I think we're going to need more than the desert can supply, can't we? Because you can't, I don't think you can overclock them to that degree. Although that is per minute. So if we're on level 4 belt, 480. Get the calculator up. You won't be able to see this, but so that's 480. So it's 15 belts of Mark 4. which would make some sense because I think I've set it up. That's what I was saying about I didn't need to fill them because there's 16. Yeah. Actually, have I already done this all for the copper? I might have finished it all. This is the hidden under depths where spaghetti reigns free. I think this is all done, you know. You're going to let me crouch onto... Oh, it's going the wrong way, isn't it? Yeah, I think this is all done and ready to go. Okay. And what belt level is it? It is 4. Okay. So what we... And this is to say, that's why I was trying to put several truck stations in, because I need 16 level 4... I don't need to completely fill them, but I need 16 level 4 belts. Wow. Okay. I may have overdone this a tad. Floor. So if they're coming down here, 16 level 4 belts. Okay. Because that's not double, is the thing, you see. So if we had, let's sort of lay it out. Have I got enough? I've only got 100 on me. Okay. Because this end area was always going to be where I was going to be, you know, putting things through. Whoops. Might have just been killed by stutter. Right, not quite. Right. So we need... It's struggling a bit. And it's causing me to fall off weirdly. Yeah, so these are the inputs. Are they? Or are they the outputs? That must be the input. And then that's the output. It's got to be. Okay. So, if I put some of these in. Say each one is here. Like that. I can use level 1. Or just pretend it's level 4 anyway. But that's what I've mostly actually been doing, is putting it in with iron plate and then upgrading it. Why are they not lined up? Oh, because I've already done 4. So then these, so because this is the input basically. We might actually get this foundry to make something today. That would be novel. Yeah, and then this is the input here. Where's me? There it is. Okay. So let's just put it in with level 1, because I got a bit of that on me. And I'll only put 1 on, I think, for each one. Just so I can work out where they are. So it's always the right-hand side one. Missed. Missed. Yeah, this is my other fear with this. I'm not sure my computer's going to be able to cope because it's really struggling. And I don't want to fall to my death just because my PC's a bit now. Right. Oh, gold. And again. Dear me. this is the that is the point, isn't it? So input there. No. Input there. No, other way around. This is... Oh, that's the point. Is the belt not the wrong way around? Did I fix that? I can't remember which way I connected it. That's... Yeah, it's really stuttering. Right, so it needs to be this way. Because it's an input. It needs to be this way. Because it's an input. Hopefully it's not too bad for you on the stream, but as I say, I think part of it is I might be at one of those points, because I think they're fairly, like, how to put it, the load-in points basically for the terrain and stuff. I think it's done in sort of fairly big map sectors from what I've seen with the streams they've said. So you can actually stand effectively on a point where it has to keep loading the different chunks of the map in. It's not a sort of dynamic system where it does it, you know, as it's needed. So I could well be stood on one of the lines because it is really struggling. So it's an output and it connects it automatically. Lovely. Wow. Okay. Plus, of course, as I say, my machine is a bit naff. I think I've decided, as a bit of a treat, because it's been a weird year, I'm going to do a partial upgrade on my system to at least update the CPU, because that's the bit that's really a bit of a problem at the moment. I'm happy keeping the graphics card I've got, but especially with the 4000s series, not that far, and the Arc, Intel's Arc GPU. You never know, that might be a game changer. Okay, so I think I've hooked those up. I think. Now, this is obviously the train level, so what I really want is to go through this level. Right, what are you doing? I want to go through here, don't I? So the belt thingamy needs to be there. I could always get rid of this bit of... that might be an idea. Does it work like that? Oh, no, no. Okay. So, it needs to be here. If I put a via pole in here, and then a lift there. Is that connected? I hope so. So, just to test out if I have done that okay, and that will work, let's just put a belt in like that. And then, oh, I can never remember how to do this. You just drop it, don't you, I think? No, it doesn't count that as being on the belt. Okay. Fine. Let's put a container on then. Yeah, right. Now, if I put some... I had some copper ore, didn't I? But let's go and get some copper ore. I guess I should clean up. Or do I need to bother? Because we've got that iron ore as well. Polluting up the thing, but we can take the iron, copper ore. If I just plot the iron ore out of the way. So I could just... See, this is a bad habit, really, because I mean, who cares about a bit of iron ore? It's not like there's a limited amount of iron ore. And yet I'm treating it like it's a limited resource. Old habits die hard, eh? Old habits die hard. Right, so if I put copper ore in here, and copper ore comes out, does it get into the lift? It's like an asthmatic snail. Come on. Yes, there we go. Now, does the lift go all the way through? I appreciate these are probably obvious. Oops. Oh dear. I thought I had the jetpack back on. That's tricky. Good thing I ate them nuts. Yeah, so I appreciate these are probably answers a lot of people, questions that people already have a lot of answers to, but so this is like one of the things with this series. It's me essentially playing it through for the first time. Certainly now. I've not done any of this before. So these are all new questions and answers to me. And we're back. No broken bones. Just minor cuts and bruises. Okay, so what I was going to try and check... Actually, I could have walked up there, couldn't I? It's quicker to go this way. What I want to check is that the lift does work as you would expect, and it's passing it through up the other way. I then want to check whether the actual belts are properly connected to the smelters, and if they are, has the one at the end done a smelt? I very much doubt it, because it's going to be splittered across a ridiculous amount of splitters. So, wrong level. And you see I haven't done the iron at all. And this is, I haven't done any of the screws, I haven't done any of the rods, copper sheets. This is what I was saying about it being so enormous, the job I've set for myself. So I don't see any copper on any of those belts. Because it's that one it would connect to. But it could just be because it's taken a while to get here. Although this is obviously level 4 belt. Oh. There's something wrong there, isn't there? Look at that. That's wrong. Why are you not? Cool. Hopefully that's correct. So I don't see anything on this belt. Was it this one I hooked it up to? I think it was. Okay, there was nothing on the belt. Is that just slowness? Difficult to tell. I guess it would have gone through by now. Okay. Should have got more copper. Let's see if I can get up here. Oh, no. God dear, look at it stuttering. So in theory, there's only one of these machines that's like got the recipe set, so it's the only one that would do anything. Yeah. And it is what we've connected up, so it is all the way down here. This is my foundry, by the way, if anyone's not seen it. It's I think it's pretty awesome. It's a staggering amount of work, as I say. The wires is the bit I'm not proud of. That's pretty messy. But I like this setup I came up with. Not that it's that complicated, but... Wait, if it's processed the ingots, they'll actually be in there, won't they? How do I tell whether it's done anything? It's not like Factorio, we can see the number it's processed. Okay. So I guess, would it have had time to go all the way through? This is like a mystery hunt, this. It's like, what's actually going on? Because this is the copper here. I don't see any copper sheet on this. It's only being divided by 5 machines, I suppose, technically. Am I on the right side? I'm on the wrong side. It would be over on this side. So there isn't a sausage here. That's a very bad sign. What have I done wrong there, then? I wonder. There's not a sausage. Right, okay. Let's see what it does if we start hooking it up properly. Rather than messing about with 15 bits of copper. Because it's not like it's sat on that, so it's obviously gone through. Okay. Let's see then. So, if I just sort of... Oh, it does adjust the direction of the belt. Okay. I just add one on here. Oh, God. Oh, that's because it's auto-saving. Because these I was thinking of stacking, you see. I'm not going to lay out every belt individually. I was thinking I can stack these up. Because only really the other floor where I need to have them all next to each other. Just to save a bit of vertical height, really. Because otherwise we'd be somewhere on the moon, basically. Okay, so where's this container? This is the one that's actually hooked up. So if we... Oh, I could have just left that, couldn't I? No, I wouldn't. So if I connect that... Actually, no, it might be useful to put one of these on. So I can maybe clean it out a bit. Maybe if I... Yeah, you see, because it's loads of iron from when it was stopping at that other one. Let's upgrade the belt a bit. And that one. And you too. That's more like it. And that one. What is the end goal of the game? So at the moment, there kind of isn't one. Have I connected the wrong things there? So that should be level 5. That's fine. Oh no, that's the wrong one, isn't it? That should be that. Yeah, there kind of isn't an end goal to the game. So basically, at the moment, You see in the top, would it be right on your screen? Basically, you see it says objective complete phase 4, milestone, leading edge production. So you've got two things, one above the other. Tech, like research and tech in this game is sort of divided into two parts. All the way over here on the map, over here, you see this little symbol here. I don't know how much you know sort of generally, but this is a space elevator. And what the space elevator wants you to do, can I? Oh no, I'd have to be at the hub, wouldn't I? But what the space elevator wants you to do is load in all of those ingredients. So there are only 4 phases to the space elevator, so I'm on the last phase. And every time you unlock one of the phases, you can do researches beneath it. So they're like, it's like a gated system. It's like it's almost like a Factorio, where which is a Factorio experience, but where you've got red and green and blue and gold science, and they're effectively gates. So you have to set up the production in Factorio for gold science before you can do any science that requires gold science. So it's a bit like that, where the space elevator milestones or objectives act as gates, and what you have to basically do is produce those things, put them in the space elevator, press a button, and that completes the phase. But the things it's asking for, I think I can make 2 of them, but you have to do the researches before you can even make those things. And that's kind of where I am. I've only got 2 milestones left, the one that's there, and I can make 2 of those items on that milestone. I can't make, well, I could in theory make the 3rd one, but and to do the researches, you put those items into the hub, basically. So there's a hub, and you load those in, and it sends off a drone, basically, and that completes that research. In fact, can I bring up the... If we just do this... Is it on here? I can never remember where... Because it sends you these... These are like supposed emails and stuff that... the things... As you see, I haven't really read them. But basically, it comes up... When you do a research... See the milestone there? Is that the ones? I mean, there's like a separate research tree as well called the MAM, Molecular Analyzer System. I can't remember what it's called. Molecular Analysis Machine, I think. But you see, we've got milestones. We've got of different types. Milestone reach is going to be packaged to allow. So there's like a whole set of different research trees, effectively. I was trying to... They must be in order. Field research, here you go. So we completed milestone 1-3, field research. We completed milestone 1-2 and 1-1. And that, basically, there are 3 milestones associated with the first level for the space elevator. So at the moment, the only objectives is to finish all of those researches. So once we've sent all of those items on the space elevator and completed all of the researches, the game will be finished. Now, they don't represent anything. Unlike a lot of building games, this one is going to have like a story. So there's, I think everyone, well, there's going to be another tier, I think, but it could well be like a, complete the game tier. It's not going to be proper like the others. I don't think they're going to put any more mechanics into the game from that point of view. But there is another system. It starts to sound, when you talk about it, it starts to sound like a free-to-play mobile game where it's got like 15 different currencies. But it isn't. It's it's just a full-price game. But there's another system called the Awesome Shop. In fact, I can, if I've got the stuff, I can build one of them. Now, I made a mistake fairly early on with the Awesome Shop. That where's the? It's in special, isn't it? There we go. The Awesome Shop. So this Awesome Shop. Oh, I can't build it. Oh, because I put all the stuff in there. What an idiot. Oh, I haven't even got any screws anyway. But this item here, you can basically put things in the Awesome Sink. and that prints out tokens, and you can put anything in the awesome sink, but it's a scaling cost. So initially you can use concrete and things like that, but later on, although you can obviously put concrete in, but they just, you know, you'd have to put 1 billion concrete in to get 1 token. But there's an item in the awesome shop called the golden nut. So that's sort of, I think, an end game goal most people currently use, where the golden nut, I think this is the golden nut, but it's like a trophy basically, and it represents a certain amount of items sunk into the awesome shop. So if you can make a factory, you know, a big factory, stick it all in the, you know, in the awesome shop and get that golden nut, then you've kind of proven you can produce at, you know, that particular rate. A bit like a Factorio, you know, mega base is basically meaningless. It's just a number. But say, I think that's something, you know, people target to do the golden nut. But say, in terms of the actual game, at the moment you can just finish those milestones and objectives, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be something else. It may just be 1 more milestone, or, you know, it could be a separate objective, or maybe they'll just make it that phase 4, you know, triggers the end cutscene or something. You know, it could be something like that. Is there really that much iron ore in here? But yeah, so you can't, I say, it is an early access game, so that it's not, you know, they're not, oh, that's all just iron ore, isn't it? Yeah, they're not sort of conning anybody with that. Goes all right, okay, cool. I say, and it's very, when they, I mean, you know, when they announced it and stuff, they didn't pretend it is 3D Factorio. That's what they intended to do when they set out. So a lot of it is very, very similar. It's smelting iron ore to make iron plate, and, you know, I mean, in this game it's iron ore and coal to make steel, but that's effectively the same thing. You know, it's just slight different variation on it. And copper, you know, there's copper in the game. It has aluminium as well, but, you know, there's oil, there's coal. I mean, there's limestone rather than stone. But the big thing with it, as I say, it's the 3D, you know, side of things. I say the only criticism I would have, and they may fix it, is that there's no like blueprint system. So why I'm moaning about, you know, how big a factory I've built and stuff is because I've know all of those splitters and mergers up in the level above. I've laid them all down by hand. Now, what it does give you, someone was explaining to me, is it gives you alternate recipes. And basically, so different ways of making the same stuff, and some of the alternate recipes apparently are like amazing, basically, and way better ways of doing things. But the trouble is to get them. For me, the trouble is to get them. You have to find crashed ships. In fact, there's one. I think there's one stuck in the. We can go and have a look at one if you want, because there's one stuck in a mountain just over there. But I don't really enjoy that as a game activity. I'm not a fan of collect 'em ups. And it's like it does a randomization system. It's not like you can go to that particular hard drive and get that particular technology. It's like it rolls a dice, but basically, and you know, you have to keep finding them. Well, you might luck out, I guess, and get the exact one you want, but you generally have to keep getting them. I think there might be one just down here somewhere as well. But yeah, I mean, there's also, and I say this game, unlike say Factorio or Dyson Sphere Program, it is going to have a story, and I personally am really quite interested to see what that is. I think I'm maybe the only one in the community that is. A lot of people seem to care particularly, but you see these weird archy things like that. There's like a spider-like creature in the game, it's not a spider. Everyone calls it a spider, but it's it's like an arachnid type species, and they actually look a lot like the legs of those creatures, but the ones in the game are nowhere near that big. And you see how it's got these weird. I don't know if you can see that if it's too small, but they're like spouting out like it's a fountain, and it's like that's clearly not a natural structure. And if you actually get close to them, they have a sort of hexagonal pattern in them, so they have like a structural, almost, I suppose, the equivalent of bones, but those already look like bones. And inside, we're running out of fuel. No, this could hurt. Yeah, brilliant. This is the only level that's too big to fly up, basically. I just didn't want to go around. But yeah, so they're either artificial or maybe this entire world is artificial. Part of my personal, and I'm not saying this like I'm some genius who the first one to think of it, but my personal theory is we're not human. We are some sort of android or clone or something like that. Because we've been sent here by the FICSIT Corporation, which is, it's some kind of pastiche on, or what do you call it? Criticism on capitalism, basically. Parody. I say so. That's obviously kind of what it's going for, but I don't think this world is necessarily, in a sense, what it purports to be. Right, so let's go and have a look and see. I left all my stuff in that chest, didn't I? That's why I'm struggling to find things. But yeah, so I'm sort of intrigued, for that side of it, at the very least. And I say, it's a single map. It doesn't randomly generate the map, and the resources are fixed. So, you can only make so much stuff. And I think it's more intended to be played where you continuously develop your own map. So one of the reasons it is so big, and I say they may not be bothered about putting a blueprint system, is that unlike Factorio, where you'd sort of play it through, or Dyson Sphere program, and you try and make a bigger base each time, as I say, it's without mods, it's fundamentally limited. You can't make more than a certain amount. You can make it more efficient and use alternate recipes and blah, 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 but unless there's some alternate recipe for everything that is, make it out of, thin air or water, there's only so much stuff you can make. And it just becomes a question of efficiency, basically, I guess, rather than actual volume. So, I can see things moving on this belt. Wow! Things are happening. And they're coming out as well. Oh, and it's even stacked up. Wow! It worked. I can't tell you how many hours I've actually spent doing this, so it's a bit of a relief that the one that I've got set does actually work. Okay. Okay. Because it's going up to 7 o'clock. I usually only stream for a couple of hours on the Monday, just to round things out. Oh, we can see my roads as well from here. Look. It does. I think they do look pretty cool. The big thing I'm not sure about, if I'm totally honest, is with the fact that the trucks crashed into each other. I'm not convinced that's the janky bit there. It's not connected up properly, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to collect multiple resources, because if the iron trucks crash into the copper trucks, crash into the limestone trucks, crash into the coal trucks, etc., 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 then having them all on the same path is just asking for trouble, isn't it? Because it seemed to be that they... I suppose that would be the next test, wasn't it? If I put, say, an iron one next to this. I mean, I already know I can't put them right next to each other, so that's a bit of a pain. So maybe I should limit the number of truck collection points and space them out a bit, and then that gives me a bit of working room anyway. But say there's a real possibility that, you know, the iron trucks will just crash into the copper trucks and things like that. Oh, a bad joke. Oh, I should ask for a bad joke. Okay. What's a bad joke? So, what do you get if you cross a kangaroo and a sheep? A woolly jumper. It's a bit. I must say, it's a bit weird saying that without any reaction, because I don't know if you get a groan there or not. But maybe I should have a button that is like a groan or something. Maybe that's the way to do it. Because it's been a bit weird saying that into the void. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I'm actually going to go and I'm just wrapping up now. I'm just thinking to myself. But so, thanks for redeeming the points. Testing it out at the very least. So I'm trying to think of some odd things I can do like that, that aren't, you know, ridiculously over the top things, like some streamers do, or. Because I quite like, I mean, it's more charity streams where people do like forfeits and stuff, don't they? If people donate enough, but trying to think of it like that, you know. But yeah, I mean, another option I could do with a road, you see, is I could multi-layer it. We could have another. I could stack up the roads effectively, and we could have, you know, an iron road, a copper road, all stacked on top of each other. That would look awesome. It would take me even longer. So yeah, I kind of need to think about it. I mean, worst case, I could use the road as a belt, you know, a bus, basically. Just bus it in. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, definitely lives up to the description. Good. Right, yes, so I say, and this is the one we worked on Friday. I say third one going in is the idea, going the other direction. But I do think they look really cool. As I have got a system for making them look like they're supported, but they do look awesome, just floating, I think. Yes, so that's it for today. Let's pop up my schedule. I'll be back next week, next weekend. I stream weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And it'll be exactly the same next week, if nothing happening for me, you know, in terms of holiday or anything like that for quite a while. It should be all over the summer that I'll be streaming. The only exception will be I am job hunting at the moment, so I may have to take a couple out if, you know, Friday or Monday if I need to go for an interview or something like that. But that's not going to be for a while. So yeah, so I say, if you've not seen me before, I stream Fridays and Mondays. I stream Satisfactory, and Saturdays and Sundays is Factorio. This will be the series Friday and Monday. I am, as I mentioned before, hoping to do maybe some community streams and put those on. Thank you very much, Johnny. Yes, fingers crossed. I mean, I'm not. I don't want that to seem like I'm about to get fired or something. It's not that. It's just I want to move on from my current job. So it's that sort of a move, and I don't think it'll happen that quickly. But yes, I have IRL things I need to do. Basically, is the point. Yeah. So on Saturday we'll be doing Prestoria 2 again. Sunday will be return of the Blueprint series. I'm going to try and alternate them. You know, Blueprint and Aesthetic on the Sunday. Saturday, Prestoria 2. We won't complete it, but it'll be more scaling up type stuff. And this series depends if I can think of anything interesting to do, and or if update 6 happens. You know, because we'll explore that if it does. If you are new, then you can find all of my stuff with these links here. If you're watching on the VODs, you can welcome to come and join me on the Twitch streams and say hello and redeem bad jokes and all that sort of things. I'm going to have to get a list of bad jokes now. Or if you want to catch any of my series, this one, the previous ones I've done, so loads of Factorio series of streams. They're all on my YouTube channel, which is Trismegistus, which is alias to Triggles. So I think that's easier to say. Similarly, my Twitter there, if you wanted to follow me there, I basically just announce when the streams are going live. That's pretty much it. I don't really do much more than that. But it's also alias to Triggles. If you wanted to join the Discord, so I have a Discord, just like everybody else. The intention of Discord is to set up those multiplayer games. So, you know, if we have some sort of community Satisfactory game on the go, then we'll probably use Discord for the chat, maybe, or to organise it and that sort of thing. And Factorio as well, if you wanted to do a bit of Factorio multiplayer, then you can hit me up there and we can set that up. Again, maybe stream it or just privately. So yeah, so that's all of me. If you've been watching, I hope you've enjoyed it and you might consider coming back for another one. I've been Trismegistus. This has been Satisfactory. Thanks for watching. Cheers.